Welcome to mine and my partner's bookshelf. We've recently moved into a new house and we've set up our joint bookshelf. It's very exciting. George, I'm trying to film a video, honey. I have been wanting to get back into reading and I've really been struggling with it. I think it has a lot to do with my ADHD. Undiagnosed by medical professionals, but diagnosed by friends and family. My thing is that like I struggle to be consistent because when I don't enjoy a book, I try to keep going, and I find that makes me end up getting into a book funk, and I don't want to read anything, let alone the book that I'm reading. So I want to get back into it. So we are going to be reading books that I already own. It may not come by surprise that a lot of the books that I own I haven't read. I feel like that's not unusual, but also I think I do want to pick up, once I finish the book that I've started from my bookshelf that I will get into very shortly, I might get a book from the library too. I have been borrowing from the library. It was a very big and scary thing for me, but I found out my library has like an online app thing, so I can just search for the book I want, because obviously I know how to read. I mean I know like how to find a book. I forget what that's called, like I know how to find a book in the library, but it just really stresses me out and I get really overwhelmed and distracted. So I've been embracing the library since finding out I can just search for the book that I want, like, or like go through my Goodreads TBR and search if that book's available without having to talk to anyone or leave my house pretty much. So I think I'm gonna set the goal really low for this video. So this is gonna be like a little read with me to force myself back into reading. And my goal is to read 3 books in this video. I'll just tell you what I've already started reading. I started this journey in my mind before I thought to document it on my YouTube channel. So I have been reading The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I actually have no idea, had no idea going into this book what it was about. I just like, I think I was like, oh yeah, sure, like it's a classic, everybody loves it, I'm sure I'll want to read it. So basically this is about a woman. I'm actually the worst at describing books, guys. I just want to read the blurb. That's so lazy. Okay, basically this girl Esther, she wins an internship with like a fashion magazine. I think she wants to be a writer. Anyways, it's about like her journey being a woman in the 1950s and all of like the social expectations of a woman in that time, and her having a hard time coming to grips with what's expected of her. I started reading this because I was feeling really depressed, and I was like, depression, also want to get back into reading Sylvia Plath. So I started reading that. I'm almost halfway through. I actually couldn't tell you what's like I know what's going on, but like I have no idea where it's going. I believe that like I don't know, I'm finding it a little bit of a drag to read, but I'm also interested enough to find out where this is going. All right, so that's the book that I'm reading. Another one that I do want to get through is Apples Never Fall by Elaine Moriarty. I started this book 2 times. I think I was just not in the right headspace to read it, but I liked it. I don't know, something wasn't right for me, like it wasn't gripping enough, so I just need to get past the first chapter. Oh shit, I was up to chapter 5. And like, I'm intrigued and I want to know what's going on, and I really like the writing so far, but I just was not in the right place to read this, and I was gifted this, and I just feel like it's a book that I would love. And I think I'm going to start there because I definitely want to get a book from the library. Like obviously like with reading books, like it's fun to like read something new and different that's not on your shelf. So I feel like 2 being from my shelf, 1 being like a new book from the library is good. But anyways, that's where we're starting. I'm gonna finish reading The Bell Jar before I borrow a book from the library, because I definitely, me and a time constraint don't do very well, so I don't want to like have the pressure of like needing to read a book before it's overdue. Anyways, that's the intro. Bye. I'm giving it a 3 stars because obviously it was iconic for its time, but that time is not right now. And the writing wasn't that like, I don't know, maybe I think I had really high expectations for the writing style, and it just didn't give me what I was expecting. I want to say I only enjoyed half of this book because the first half, I know there was a purpose to the whole first half of the book, but I feel like it could have been summarized in like 2 sentences and I would have got the point. The second half of the book was where all the racism and interesting language began. I don't know, it wasn't my favorite, but I am proud that I read it. I achieved the first goal of this little reading tibia. That means it's time to pick my second book, and I think it's a good idea. Like, obviously the goal of this is to read the books that I already have on my bookshelf, but I think it's good to have something in the middle to break it up, something new. Okay, so the books that I've picked out, the first one is Big Swiss. I'd never heard of this until literally this morning when I was scrolling through my Goodreads. It just seems interesting. I believe it's about a book. It's about a lady, Greta. Greta spends her days transcribing therapy sessions for a sex coach who calls himself She becomes infatuated with his newest client, a repressed married woman she affectionately refers to as Big Swiss. One day, Greta recognizes Big Swiss's voice in town. They quickly become enmeshed. So I think that that would be a good one. And a couple of people that I follow on Goodreads have given it a 5 stars. Second book option is Mean Baby by Selma Blair. This just sounds really curious because she is, I don't know, I wouldn't say she is, like, she's a likable person to me, but I know she is a little bit unlikable in the sense of being a proper straight-edged actress. And obviously recently she had her bout with multiple sclerosis and I think she's in remission now, but I feel like it might be nice. I just like am keeping in mind that my next book is like a murder mystery, so I kind of want to stay away from that category because I can only take so much. So I felt like a memoir would be nice to break it up, and hers just sounds really interesting to me. Next is Found Wanting by Natasha Scholl. This is a book about grief and it sounds very heartbreaking in it. I would be intrigued to hear about her story. And then the last option is Down the Drain by Julia Fox. When Spotify came out with their like audiobook program or whatever, I remember I just put this on just for background noise at one point and I really enjoyed it. She is a very interesting person and has been through some very interesting things. So I would enjoy finishing this in a book form. Okay, all right, she's on hold. Okay, so they don't have Mean Baby. Wanting. Okay, yeah, so they don't have that one at my local library. When I tell you I thought that I put the wrong book on hold, the cover being different, fine, but the whole blurb is different. It says Big Swiss, Flavia, 28, dog lover, married, gynecologist, never had an orgasm, in sex therapy. Greta, Rebecca, sorry, I'm out of breath because it's really hot outside today. 45, dog lover, newly single, audio transcriptionist for a sex therapist, bound by a confidentiality agreement, increasingly infatuated with one particular client. That makes sense. I like how it's like the paragraphs are constructed. Anyways, it's hot, I'm going home. Good morning. I'm vlogging on my phone today because I am having a sick day because my chronic pain is really bad. And it's currently, I think it's like 12. I can't check because I'm vlogging on my phone. But I'm gonna make myself a hot chocolate and I'm gonna get into this book. I'm really enjoying this book so far. I'm not very far in it. I haven't had much time to read, but I feel like the characters are so vibrant. Like I really like they're really unique characters. So hi guys, I'm driving home from work and you probably will fall. So I'm still reading Big Swiss, which I'm really enjoying, but today at work I had a lot of time, not free time, but I had a lot of focus time. So I decided to start Apples Never Fall on an audiobook because I used to be such an audiobook girl. Like I love audiobooks, but I kind of fell off of them when I started working like 10 minutes down the road. So I didn't have really time to listen to audiobooks. But anyways, to make a long story short, I started Apples Never Fall and I DNF'd it. Sorry, I'm only gonna make 2 out of 3 books of this reading vlog because that was so fucking boring. Like, what a waste. I feel so bad because I was gifted the book and like it sounded so promising, but like I really don't like her writing. And as I said in the start of this video, I am not going to continue books that I am not enjoying because then it puts me in a reading slump and then I never pick up a book again. So I listened to about, honestly, 3 to 4 hours of this book and it just like did not appeal to me. The writing style was so drawn out and boring. Like, it was, the book that I'm reading now, Big Swiss, is, I'm enjoying it, and I've never read a book that's like kind of a stream of consciousness of the main character. And I guess this Apples Never Fall was similar, but like it was boring. Like, it was a stream of consciousness of every character. Like, honestly, there was too many fucking characters. Like, I was getting stressed out trying to, no, that's not true, because there were so many characters, but all of them were boring. Like, not one of them appealed to me. Like, honestly, like nothing happened in the first 2 chapters. I was like, this is not gonna happen. I am actually falling asleep listening to it. So I literally Googled this like chapter summaries and the spoiler, like the ending. Tell me why literally nothing happened in this book. Like, literally nothing happened. I don't want to spoil, like, I don't know. I guess there's nothing to spoil because nothing happens, but literally it was just like more of the same every single chapter, and I was like, what the fuck? The thing is, after those 3 hours, I had my lunch break and then I started a different audiobook. And this one has just as many characters, if not more, and I was not confused. I was not bored. Like, it was just such an easy listen. That's the reading vlog, guys. Oh no, it's not. I still have to finish Big Swiss, but I already know that I love this book. I'm already giving it a 5 stars. Actually, maybe a 4. But I want to give it a 5 because it's the first book that I've read in a while that I've really enjoyed. So it might, just like from where I am in life right now, it's a 5-star. Hi guys, it's the weekend. I'm finishing this vlog on my phone because I'm about to go and drop off my book, Big Swiss. I wish that I had done my final thoughts like right when I finished it. I ultimately am rating this a 4-star because I really loved the story. I really enjoyed the characters. I loved like the imperfection of everybody in this story, but the end really dragged out. Like, I know that the end was like, it was meant to just be like a reflection of like everything that happened in the story, but it did feel like a bit of a drag because it was kind of just like, you know, we were living through every experience that these 2 main characters had in this story. So like, we were there to like see what they were explaining at the end, I guess. But no, I really loved this. Like, I really enjoyed the quirkiness of the story. I did, after I finished it, like, I looked up online like how people felt about the ending, and I did see that a lot of people were mad because it was a little bit racist at times. And then I was like, oh yeah, that was a little bit racist. Considering the book that I read prior to this was The Bell Jar, which is definitely racist, I think maybe I didn't notice the racism as much in this book. But yeah, there was definitely some casual racism in here, but I think I was blinded from where I had come on my reading journey. I don't know if I should talk about one that I have just finished, which I'd listened to on audiobook. I slightly mentioned it yesterday, and that is, I just finished Sunburn. Like, I'm just about to finish Sunburn, and that is an absolute 5-star for me. And I heard that it's a debut novel for the author. I forget her name. I think it's Chloe something. It's like outstanding. The writing is just so simple and poetic, and that is what I love. And like the stories, like just the experience felt so human and so real. And I listened to the audiobooks, so they were all speaking in their Irish accents, and it was really fun. So I had the best time reading that book. But that's just the bonus little book. But I guess I still hit the 3 books. It's just so happened that I swapped one out because I DNF'd Apples Never Fall, so I still completed 3 books. They just weren't the 3 that I had planned to complete. But anyways, that's like one of my first like proper reading vlogs, so I don't know what the next one's gonna be. I think I just want to go on like a reading what I want journey at the moment because I am having fun with it, and I seem to be really attracted to lesbian lit, so I might just follow that journey.